Alright, welcome back to my channel. This time around we're going to quickly dive into PHP, JavaScript and Python, which we've been looking at all along. So without much ado, let's go into our 100 days IT folder. We have subfolders good by environments, and as you can see we can dive into web projects and we'll see Flask, Django and Python, JavaScript and PHP. So I'll go ahead and open everything in our Visual Studio Code editor. So remember, before we can do any of this, we need three things. We need to have a web browser, which I believe you might have. I'm using Google Chrome. You also need to have a code editor, which in this case I have Visual Studio Code that I am using. And finally, you need to have your environment set up. And from there, we should be good to go. Now, within our dev environment, we have multiple projects we're working on. We're going to focus on our web projects. Today we'll not look at Django or Flask. We're going to look at Python, JavaScript, and PHP. You see there are some examples I already have in there, but first of all, let's look at these steps. We'll start by setting up our environment, getting to python.org, installing Python, which comes with pip and other built-in tools. We're also going to go into JavaScript by way of Node.js. So we'll go to node.js.org and install Node, the recent version. It does come with Node Package Manager. And then we'll go to php.net. PHP runs on all the different operating systems. We'll get to pick the PHP that we need for our operating system. So once we have all those environments set up, then we can now go ahead to test the environment.
So let's start by going to python.org, node.js.org, and php.net. We already have a copy of Python, but to get one, you go to download and click on the Python version, download it. Also make sure you check out the documentation, download a PDF if you need for your references. The same with Node.js. We go to nodejs.org. It's very easy to locate the download button. You click on it and you're good to go. Make sure you also check out the documentation. PHP is a little bit challenging, so it will take some time to do that. You also locate the download button and go from there. So for Node.js, we already clicked on the download button. The installation ran successfully. And here is a pop-up which we will go ahead and click on, and we should be able to be good from there. So we'll check that out later on. Now let's spend some time on PHP, which will be a little bit challenging. So go to download, locate the stable version you want. Again, there are multiple versions. You can download a compressed file of a particular type which you like. I'll probably download a zip file, and make sure you check the correct version that matches with the project you're working on. So you click on the download and check it out. Once it's done downloading, you can either open the folder where you downloaded it to or open it naturally. My downloads are going to the downloads folder. As you can see, check out the file and the folders inside. Everything looks okay. And now I can go ahead and unzip it or unarchive it, unpackage it, whichever way you want to call it. So once it gets unzipped, we can check out what the contents are. But before we proceed, we want to go ahead and rename that folder because we'll have to move it to another location. So renaming it, make sure you leave the version number at the end because you might have multiple versions of PHP running on the same machine, server, or operating system. So let's make a copy of that and then locate where we have our program files. Our program files are located, and from there we can go ahead and paste what we copied over. Once it's pasted, we're going to need a link, or rather the URL, the path to that location. Once we get the path, we go to our PC, check out the properties. In there, you should be able to see advanced settings. So we go to the advanced system settings and click out the environmental variables. From there, we should be able to update the environmental variables for the system, not just a particular user. so that everyone logging in should be able to use this PHP. So identify where the path is, click on the edit button to change it, and once you get into the edit environmental variables window, you can click on new, paste that URL or path. So I noticed that the path is incomplete, so I'm going to cancel this and go back, and let's go back to locate where my PHP is. So we get to it and copy the full path, including the folder where the PHP is located. So now let's redo it. We paste it and add a slash at the end. I don't trust my typing, so I wouldn't want to type this out. So it's better for me to copy and paste. Double check that everything is in there and we're good to go. We can OK ourselves out of that. So that's about it. We are all set now with PHP for Windows 10. Can close out all the different pages, but just to double check before we get out of here, let's go ahead and do a quick test. We're going to do a thorough test later on. Let's just make a quick test to make sure that everything is working fine. So we go to our command line and open it up, type cmd from Windows or terminal if you're using Mac. So for Python, you can type in Python version. It should tell us what version we're using, 3.13.1. And also for the package installer for Python, it's pip. So we check pip's version, it's 24.3.1. Now on to Node. For Node.js, we check out the version, it's version 22.12.0. And Node Package Manager version is 10.9. So good. For PHP, we just check the version is using a Zen engine, and just like that, we're good to go.
Testing the environment is straightforward. Just use the version tag to check if we have Python, Node, and PHP. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and do that in here as well. If we go ahead and say open integrated terminal, it opens up an integrated terminal for us. Let me maximize that and then collapse this. So our terminal here, we want to find out Python. What version am I using of Python? And it tells me I'm using version 3.13. Also for Node, what version am I using for Node? It tells me the version for Node. And for PHP, what version am I using for PHP? It tells me the version. I'm good. So each one of these has a package manager, the built-in tools that come with it. For Python, I need to find out what version of pip I'm using. Oops, I can't spell. And it's going to take its time, dive in and figure it out. So as you can see, while I'm running that, it's telling me out here what I'm running. So it comes back and tells me I'm using pip version 24. Also, if I want to find out what are the different tools that I have in there, I can go ahead and say pip list. And while it's running, you can see it tells me what is running there. And these are the list of packages that I have and their versions within my Python environment. Quite a lot. You could get even more as we keep writing more code and importing more stuff. So I'm going to clear the screen so that it's not looking too crowded. And just like that, I can also do the same for npm. So npm, Node Package Manager, you can check what version we have for that. Oops, we can't find any version for npm. Actually, I believe this might be because I'm in PowerShell. Let's go ahead and try this in a command line and see what happens. So Node version, what do we have? It tells us our version. How about npm version? And it tells us our version. So yeah, for PowerShell, that's usually an issue because I need to make sure for security reasons I'm not going to let us run everything. So here it's telling us cannot be loaded because running scripts is disabled for that system. It's always a good idea to disable scripts. Otherwise, malicious actors can go ahead and take over your system. So we're not going to use PowerShell. I'll go back into my command line and there you go. So now that I've checked the version for npm, I can also go ahead and see npm, if I can spell correctly. Check out the list. What do I have installed so far? And it looks like I do not have anything. So in here, it's telling us just the command. So it has a list of the commands of things I can do, but the list is empty. I don't have anything set up yet. Awesome. So clear this and carry on with what we needed to do. So we've gotten our environment set up. We've tested the environments, everything looks kosher. Now we can go ahead and start writing simple applications for each one of them.